You ever feel like history is whispering, like behind every story they taught us, the wars, the inventions, the legends, there's something off, something no one's ever pieced together? I didn't believe in conspiracy theories. I believed in facts, but then I found one, buried deep in a government archive, and it led me to something impossible. Every absurd, random moment in human history was connected, and the worst part. I can prove it started as a side project. I was researching an old computer archive, Harvard's Mark II from 1947. That's when I found the note, first actual case of bug being found. They had taped a moth into the page. A real moth. That I laughed. But then I noticed the handwriting. It wasn't from the engineer. It matched something older, something from the 1830s. Same looping, same ink pattern, and in that 1830s file, there was a man named Bennett, the same Bennett who sold ketchup as medicine. You see what I mean? Random, right? But the deeper I looked, the more these random stories started lining up like a map. Franklin believed in bathing naked in cold air to cure sickness. Bennett thought tomatoes healed everything. Then there was a pope who wiped out cats, unleashing rats that carried the Black Death, and a woman in France who danced herself to death, infecting an entire town with hysteria. Different centuries, different continents, yet every single one followed the same pattern, a single mistake disguised as genius, a single belief that changed the course of time. It wasn't stupidity. It was design. That I started chasing symbols. A spiral pattern etched into ancient Egyptian toothpaste jars, same spiral carved into the Great Wall's rice mortar, same one stamped on a Roman coin celebrating a female gladiator. And then there were the anomalies, events that shouldn't have happened, but did. A tiger in India that killed 436 people, and ended the same year insurance was invented. A war that lasted 38 minutes, exactly the time it took for a telegraph signal to circle the globe that same day. Coincidence? Maybe once. But dozens of them. The more I found, the less random the world looked. It felt orchestrated. I thought I was losing my mind, until I found her. A pirate queen who ruled the South China Sea in the 1800s. Historians said she retired rich and vanished, but she didn't. She left behind a ledger filled with drawings, coded with dates that matched every single event I'd uncovered, and at the bottom, one chilling sentence, written in English though she never spoke it: the world repeats itself, until someone remembers. That's when I realized, history isn't a timeline. It's a loop. I dug deeper. Every miracle, every accident, every first, from Einstein's stolen brain to the Pope who put a corpse on trial, they were all echoes of something before them, patterns stretching back 10,000 years. A princess in Babylon ran the first museum, then, centuries later, her name reappeared, hidden in the code of the first fax machine patent, same letters, same order, and that final thread led me here, to Napoleon, the man who accidentally created canned food. His scientists sealed life inside glass, and that same preservation method was used to keep Einstein's brain in jars a century later. Life in a jar. Knowledge in a jar. History, trapped and preserved, waiting to be opened again. I finally asked myself, what if humanity isn't progressing? What if we're just remembering pieces of what we already did, over and over? Every time we think we're inventing, we're just unearthing what was buried before. We're the archaeologists and the ruins at the same time. So now, when I see a new discovery, I don't ask when it happened. I ask how many times it's happened before. Maybe that's what the pirate queen meant. The world repeats until someone remembers. And if you're hearing this, maybe that someone is you.